Well, folks, can't say I didn't bring you something a little different this time. This is an amazing sculpt from ABE3D, who sells a lot of stuff through the internet and on eBay and other places. And a good friend of mine was kind enough to give me this. This was a gift for painting some things for him. And it is, if you're not familiar with bat lore, it is Poison Ivy, the villain from the Batman comics. And this is my rendition of her. Trying to do something a little different with the paint. I did nothing but experimentation on this thing. I have used colors and combinations I never used before. I stuck to the green and purple, and there's a brown palette. I mixed my greens. In fact, they're all Vallejo colors. I think it's deep green mixed with wood grain, which is a beautiful brown. And it makes that really wonderful, lush green color that I have in the leaves. And yes, if the man-eating plant there looks a little familiar, I definitely based the paintwork on it. Let me stay out of the light here. On the Audrey 2 from, you know, the wonderful, I don't know if you call it a comedy or horror or musical or all three of the above, but Little Shop of Horrors. And since I'm not a big Little Shop fan, it is kind of nice to have an Audrey-like thing around. I kind of like the Audrey too. So I used the color scheme in some of the stills that I saw, and actually I painted the base with grays and shades and things, faded. I wanted these to look like old rotten vines or roots, and then just a stone base. The blue hue you see in this is from sunlight behind me coming in the window. I've got several lights on it, but anyway, and I painted the leaves and I painted the plants first. So the Audrey was the first thing I did. I added the weird, gooey, drippy effect there. That's just fabric tack glue stretched from one tooth to another with the nozzle. It's not a very hard trick to do. And I can undo it as fast as I did it. I actually have sprayed this thing with enough coats I could probably just pop that right off and it wouldn't even affect the paint. But I kind of like the look of that wet mouth like the alien. As for her, how I got her, I used several of the flesh tones. I did a base coat over her whole body with a warm, it's kind of a yellow ochre. They call it a flesh tone, a warm flesh base or something like that, but it's very yellow ochre. And I came back and mixed light flesh, medium flesh, red, because I used plain red, not crimson, not any of that. We'll get to the hair in a minute. There's crimson in that. But I mixed my skin color using several shades, and of course wood grain, which I mix in there, and did different, different areas, different shades, different, like the knees have little pink knees kind of thing. And now you'll notice her navel in certain places on her body, especially where it sort of bisects. I think it's on her back too. You can hardly tell now that the hair is there. There's green. It's not a fluorescent green. It's a pearlescent green. And what I did, like this is my yellow with the pearlescent green mixed with the intermediate green that I used, and then I kind of shaded it. And I wanted and by the way, this is the demure, tasteful version with the skirt on. Yes, the skirt pops loose there and on the other side, but for the sake of this video, even though I'm rated 13 and above, I just thought it was a little bit much to show the bare bottom and all that. She's fairly bare bottomed. Added a flower to the side of that, because she comes with 3 flowers that are mounted in different places, but I changed where they were located. And I'm going to get into the hair now. Now the hair, I did a base of a serious pearlescent purple. And then I mixed layers of transparent red on top of that, all Vallejo hand painted colors. And then I came back at the end of that with scarlet, which is almost an orangey red, just to hit the highlights. Her face, and I don't know how well you can see it, her faces are always the most important thing to me, mouths and faces. Her mouth, I painted a little wash of the purple. It barely caught her teeth, and I left the light color underneath as all there is for light. Same thing with the eyes, the whites of the eyes. And I painted a wash of the pearlescent green, maybe mixed with a little bit of the flesh. Did sort of some color around the eyes. And for the mouth, it's that purple, but then I came back with transparent red and did a nice rich layer over that. My goal was I wanted her to look not only like a villain, but I wanted her to look like a 20s or 30s illustration. You know, those really wicked magazine covers that were illustrated back in the day. Her eyes are a red circle with a serious dollop of the not fluorescent, but the shiny green. It's a very strong reflective color. And then I put black pupils in there so it catches the light. So everything about her has this translucence. Her hair, which changes color, the flowers. Oh, it was my wife's idea to let her be holding a rose. That was kind of a nice touch. It gives that hen something to do, which the model was cool, but it looked like she was holding something. Other than that, I added a couple of the roses to the base, and again did my colors on the leaves. Anything I did on the leaves here, I kind of did on the leaves on the body, except I did them all a little differently. The vines are a nightmare to paint. I'm not going to lie to you, that is incredibly hard because I painted the skin first and came in with a very small point brush and just took my time. It took days and days and days to paint those vines. Then I did the leaves. Then I did, the rest. So anyway, that's pretty much it. She was just a long labor of, well, love. Why not? She was fun to paint, I won't lie. And it was a gift from a good friend, and I really appreciate it. I have wanted one of these for a long time anyway. I love the sculpt. I love ABE3D. I cannot wait to paint more of his stuff. I think I've painted, there's a Gwen, a spider Gwen, that's already a video in my thing. Wasn't for me. And that may be the only other Abe I've painted. This one I wanted a long time. I just thought she was just way too classy not to have. So anyway, that's the Poison Ivy today. I hope you like her. I hope she at least is different than any Poison Ivy you've seen. Something a little bit unique. And oh yeah, notice the green fade from the feet up and from the hands down. Yeah, she's starting to turn green. I just didn't want her all green, So yeah, that's the translucent green paint again. Really, I only used about 4 or 5 colors on this thing. So, mixed in different ways. It came out pretty cool. Hope you like it. Like, subscribe, comment. Please comment. Don't be afraid to do that. And come back and see me. We've got some really cool stuff coming. I've got some big grails on the way. So, just wait. You'll see. Stay tuned.